Hey y'all, it's Viney with the Get Down podcast, and we are back with another episode. If you are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share this video with anyone and everyone that you know. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you're having a safe day. Wherever you are tuning into the podcast or listening to the video, I hope everybody's having a great day. South Carolina, y'all, they got it done. Congratulations to them on beating Iowa and stuff. Last year, Iowa, they were able to be the champs and they won the game. But this year, South Carolina took it. And I know people were really kind of debating on which team that, could potentially win it all. South Carolina, Iowa, both teams are competitive. They got some star players on the team to look out in the near future with, their decisions and whatever else they're going to be doing later on and stuff. But, South Carolina, they were able to get it. Caitlin Clark, her story had to come to an end. Unfortunately, she just couldn't get it done for the team. She's the female version of Steph Curry, but she couldn't get it done. And I mean, it happens like that. It do, you don't always come up big. You come up short sometimes when it's the big game, when it's that moment that really counts. Sometimes you just can't get it done. Sometimes it is a specific team that may have your number or status, whatever the case is. But South Carolina, they didn't play. They did their homework. They did their work, and they came and they had shut it down. So we're going to read a little bit of the article just to see what CNN had to say about this. Okay, so let's get into this video, y'all. South Carolina, Iowa title game shatters women's college basketball rating records. Yes, because I heard, actually it's in the article, so we're going to read it. Okay, the ratings record for a women's college basketball game just got shattered again. So this has happened before previously. Sunday's NCAA tournament national title game between undefeated and top overall seed South Carolina and Caitlin Clark Iowa Hawkeyes averaged 18.7 million views, peaking at 24 million according to preliminary numbers for Nielsen, 18.7 million viewers, close to 24 million. Man, I mean, majority of the time, if you're not into a specific topic, whether it's sports or music or whatever, you're gonna see about it and kind of continue to move on, kind of like how the YouTube pages are. Most people, they'll just watch your video. Sometimes they're not subscribed. Sometimes you'll have more viewers looking at your videos than actually subscribe to your channel. But 18.7 million viewers, ooh, that's a lot. So it got this is the second time that it's been that number, pretty much, because it said it got shattered again. So I'm sure it was in the million viewers before, but now it's reached to 18.7. My God, that is a lot of people viewing in to watch this. But I mean, like I said, it's the big game, and most people, they watch the big game at the end to see who's going to take it all. Just like the Super Bowl, just like with basketball, they do the same thing. They want to see who's going to win it all. Most of the time, that's the game that everybody's watching, whether you're into sports or not, the big game. And then everybody go back to their normal lives. But 18.7 million viewers, good grief. A lot of people tune in for them. South Carolina won its third national title, all under head coach Dawn Staley, to finish the season 38-0. Yes, mind you, Dawn Staley, for anybody that doesn't know, she did play back in her college days, so she has experience there. I mean, they have a great coach. For them to be able to push this far in the season and to win it all, I mean, this is amazing. This is the third title under her specifically. So she's up there. She's definitely up there with the GOATs, with the greats, whatever you want to categorize her as. She's definitely up there. With a record-setting audience of 18.7 million viewers, Sunday's Iowa-South Carolina title game was a fitting finale to the most viewed ever NCAA women's basketball tournament. ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro said, "Wow, that's crazy. That's good, but crazy." These exceptional athletes, coaches, and teams captured our attention in unprecedented ways, and it's incumbent on all of us to keep the incredible momentum going. And then you have Caitlin Clark. She tweeted 18.7 million with the fire emoji. I mean, that is a lot of people tuning in, to be watching that. These are young girls. They have a long career ahead of them if they stay on the right track and they do what's right. I mean, yes, we know about Angel Reese and Sha'Carri Richardson. They're young black females. And, sometimes when you're influenced, depending on how you grew up, that's what you're going to take into the career that you're going into. Some stuff you have to kind of just put aside. And then the difference between Sha'Carri and Angel, Sha'Carri had lost her mother too, so she was dealing with the grief of not having one of her parents just in her life overall. She was up there and then she started to decline. Now she's back on her A game. Same with Angel Reese. When you start to let a lot of stuff go to your head, especially, when it's something like this, your head becomes bigger than what it really should be. But sometimes you got to try to get back, knocked down to reality and understand, where things are, how they stand and stuff like that. You still want to always try to keep that humble spirit. Don't get over prideful. Don't be too big-headed. Try to keep that humble spirit always. That's for what people look at. But when you start, getting up there and doing kind of all, like that and going haywire with it, somebody got to be like, I got to knock you down a couple of notches so you can understand and be a little bit more grateful for things like that. So, Caitlin Clark, I'm sure even if she would have won, it still would have been big-headed, but you still got to try to get knocked down. You do still try to carry that humble spirit. ESPN said the NCAA title game was the second most watched non-Olympic women's sporting event ever on U.S. television after the 2015 Women's World Cup final between the United States and Japan. It was also the most watched basketball game, including NBA and WNBA, since 2019, according to ESPN. Man, these numbers are crazy. Before Sunday's championship game, which aired on ABC, Clark and the Hawkeyes were part of the top 3 most viewed women's college basketball games of all time. So how long basketball has been around and stuff, this is all time. Friday's Final Four win against UConn, 14.2 million. Their Elite 8 win against LSU, 12.13 million, and last year's national conference game against LSU, 9.9 million. So these are all the views. But this one had topped it. It topped it out of everybody that was watching it. It's crazy. Like I said, when the Super Bowl gets here, a lot of people, they watch it really mainly see who's going to be performing at halftime. But we know all of that information before the week before Super Bowl, so it gets people prepared. But most people, if they're not looking at any other football games this season, they're gonna tune in to the Super Bowl. So it's the big game that everybody tunes into, that everybody watches to see, hey, what's gonna happen? The 2024 Elite 8 and Final Four aired on ESPN on cable. The 2023 championship game aired on ABC, which, like ESPN, is owned by Disney. Oh, I didn't know that, but now I do. So I guess Disney owns a couple of other broadcast stations as well. The 2024 edition of the titles contest drew 89% more viewers than last year and 285% more than 2022 when South Carolina defeated Connecticut. That was a beast team too. they were really good as well. So I mean, any two teams that it would have came down to, it would have been great. It still probably would have had a lot of viewers tuning in. I mean, you know, you have to think about that too. While celebrating her team's win, South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley also praised Iowa's Clark for her contribution to women's basketball. I personally want to thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport, Staley said, adding Clark carried a heavy load. Yes, she definitely did. She did. Everybody wanted to see what was going to be next to come for Caitlin. I mean, we'll see. We're not really sure, but we'll see. It would have gave the answer right then and there had they won, but I mean, since they didn't win, now it's kind of going back to step one to see what she might, be doing next in her career. Do I think South Carolina is a part of it? Yeah, we're a part of it. I don't know what part, but you can see the numbers that when Caitlin plays in the game, you see the numbers. They're real numbers, and a lot of people like to deal in those real numbers, Staley said. I hope we were able to attract some more people by the amount of eyeballs that probably watched our game just because Caitlin was appearing in it. Yeah, Caitlin is a big name. She's definitely a big name in it. Let me get into a couple of some stats for the game, just so everybody can kind of see how they were played and stuff like that. Let's get some stats. Okay. So field goal wise percentage, Iowa had 39.7. South Carolina had 47.9. Three-pointers, South Carolina was 8 of 19. Iowa was 9 of 23. For their free throws, South Carolina was 9 of 17. Iowa was 16 of 20. So Iowa actually kind of take the bait as far as the field goal percentage and the three-point percentage too, with how much more they were just above the South Carolina in their team. So the total rebounds Iowa had was 29. South Carolina had 51. The offensive rebounds, Iowa had 7. South Carolina had 18. Defensive rebounds, South Carolina had 33. Iowa had 22. For the assists, Iowa had 13. South Carolina had 16. For the blocks in the game, Iowa had 4. South Carolina had 8. The steals, Iowa had 6. South Carolina had 8. The turnovers, Iowa had 9. South Carolina had 13. And the fouls, the personal fouls, Iowa had 14. And South Carolina had 17. So every quarter, Iowa had 27 the first quarter. South Carolina had 20 for like the total points in the quarter. For the second quarter, Iowa had 19 points. South Carolina had 29. The third quarter, Iowa had 13 points. South Carolina had 19. And for the fourth quarter, Iowa had a total of 16 points. And South Carolina had a total of 19 points for the fourth quarter. So they end up winning 87 to 75. I mean, the magnitude that Dawn Staley has done with this team. They went undefeated. That takes a lot of hard work to do. For you to really go undefeated, it's hard, because you always want to try to go undefeated or try to have one of these best records where you're really not losing no more than 2 games. But to go undefeated, you got to put in a lot of hard work. It's going to be hard. It's the point of hard work. And Dawn Staley, she exceeded that expectation with doing that. And, coming from college with her playing basketball as well, I mean, that just gave the Gamecocks even a better push to know that their head coach, she got a lot of experience under her belt, which is not to say other head coaches haven't. Some do, some haven't. But Dawn Staley, she's definitely up there as far as being a GOAT for the women head coaches she's definitely up there. She gets my respect and my credit all day. So congratulations again to the South Carolina Gamecocks. They were able to win 87-75. It was an outstanding game. Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, it came to an end. So we'll see what's going to be next for her and the decision that she's going to do. I think they've spoken to her, and I did hear that she's probably going to do, I think, another year of college or something like that. But we will see what is going to happen with her later on, as far as where she's going to do, where she might be landing, things of that nature. So, like I said, we could have got the answer right then and there had they won, but unfortunately they didn't. So we'll just see and hear whatever else comes, for her. We'll be updated on that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a fat thumbs up. Like, comment, and share this video. Please leave me a comment section. What do you think about the game? Do you think it should have went otherwise? Are you going to congratulate the Gamecocks? Just give me a comment in the comment section. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be notified every time that I drop video on this channel. And if that is all, always remember to stay prayed up and stay blessed. And I will see you guys in the next episode.